Israel says Iran has launched a new wave of missiles towards it. Red alert sirens began to sound in several areas of Israel, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, with the IDF warning its defense was not hermetic. A CNN producer reported hearing sirens in Jerusalem and loud explosions. A video filmed by the producer showed several missiles soaring through the sky. Israel's emergency services agency, Magen David Adom, said its teams are heading to reported impact sites. The IDF instructed people across the country to enter bomb shelters and remain there until further notice. Trump says, "Good chance, deal can be reached between Israel and Iran, but sometimes they have to fight it out." While President Donald Trump said Sunday that he wants to see a deal reached between Israel and Iran and that he believes there's a good chance of that happening, he told reporters that sometimes they have to fight it out. Asked how he plans to de-escalate the intensifying conflict between the two nations, Trump said, "I hope there's going to be a deal. I think it's time for deal and we'll see what happens, but sometimes they have to fight it out. I think there's a good chance there will be a deal," he added, while speaking outside the White House as he prepared to leave for the G7 summit in Canada. Trump also said that, "We get along really well with Iran and that he thinks Israel and Iran have great respect for each other." However, Trump declined to say whether he has asked Israel to pause airstrikes into Iran. "I don't want to say that," he said. The "fight it out" phrase is similar to how Trump has spoken about the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, including comparing the war over Moscow's invasion to a fight between children. Sometimes you see two young children fighting like crazy. They hate each other, and they're fighting in a park, and you try and pull them apart. They don't want to be pulled. Sometimes you're better off letting them fight for a while and then pulling them apart, Trump said earlier this month in the Oval Office. Early warning of Iranian missiles drags as Israel strikes missile sites in Iran. More than an hour after Israel's Home Front Command told residents across Israel to remain close to bomb shelters in anticipation of another Iranian barrage, air raid sirens had yet to be triggered as the Israeli military said it was striking missile launch sites in Iran. The early warning is intended to give Israelis 15 to 30 minutes before air raid sirens are triggered. But more than an hour later, no incoming missiles had been detected, suggesting Israeli airstrikes in Iran may have disrupted Iranian missile launches. Israel's Home Front Command has not rescinded its early warning, indicating Iran may still manage to fire missiles. Israel and Iran attacks continue into Monday. Here's what you need to know. Deadly strikes between Israel and Iran continued late into Sunday, with Israel vowing to intensify its operation against Iran to strengthen our security for years to come, said the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, Chief of the General Staff Eyal Zamir. Here's what you need to know. Fresh barrage. Iran launched a new salvo of missiles and drones at Israel late in Sunday, state media reported. The operation, dubbed Operation True Promise 3, included hundreds of various ballistic missiles, targeting residential buildings and infrastructure in Israel, semi-official Iranian media outlet Mehr News reported on Sunday. Evacuation warnings. Iran's military issued a warning to residents of Israel to evacuate from areas close to important Israeli military and scientific sites for their own safety. The Israeli military had made a similar warning to Iranians hours earlier, warning those who lived near weapons production facilities, a possible sign further strikes could be coming. Israel hits military targets across Iran. Israel launched a series of strikes targeting surface-to-surface missiles in western and central Iran. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, also said Sunday that the Israeli Air Force struck and dismantled military targets in Tehran. The Foreign Ministry building in the Iranian capital was also struck, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Saeed Khatibzadeh said on Sunday, adding that several people were injured. Separately, the Chief of Intelligence for Iran's Revolutionary Guards, Mohammad Kazemi, and his deputy were killed in attacks earlier today. Trump rejects assassination plan. Two U.S. officials told CNN the U.S. president rejected a plan by the Israelis to kill Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his spokesperson have strongly denied the reports of such a plan. Death toll mounts. At least 224 were killed and 1,277 hospitalized in Iran since hostilities began, the country's health ministry said, as cited by Iran's official media. The vast majority of whom were civilians. In Israel, the attacks have killed at least 14 people and injured at least 380. Several areas hit in Israel. A building in northern Israeli city of Haifa and an area in the southern Israeli community of Zavdiel was struck amid the Iranian barrage on Sunday night, according to Israeli authorities. World leaders call for de-escalation. Several world leaders, including Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, called for diplomatic talks to de-escalate tensions between Israel and Iran on Sunday. Israel strikes surface-to-surface missile sites in central Iran. Israel is conducting strikes on surface-to-surface missile sites in central Iran, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, said on Sunday night. Israel strikes weapons production sites in Iran, IDF says. Israel conducted a wide-scale wave of strikes on Sunday targeting several weapons production sites in Iran, the Israeli military said. The strikes destroyed infrastructure belonging to the Quds Force, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and the Iranian military in Tehran, according to the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. Numerous weapons production sites across Iran were targeted, the IDF said. These targets included a site for the production of navigation and missile systems, a site for producing fuels for various types of missiles, and a planetary mixer designed for the production of surface-to-surface missile engines. The IDF also reported that the strikes hit a production site for components of aerial defense systems belonging to the IRGC. Israeli strikes on Iran kill at least 224, says Iran Health Ministry. Iran's Ministry of Health on Sunday said at least 224 people had been killed in Iran since Israel launched a wave of attacks across the country on Friday, according to the semi-official Iranian media outlet Mehr News, citing Health Ministry spokesman Hossein Kermanpour. Kermanpour said 1,277 people have been hospitalized, and the vast majority of casualties, more than 90%, were civilians. And that's it for today's news. Thanks for staying with us to the end. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss a story that matters.